Well, hello there. Welcome back to Brambleberry. We are back out here with this earth tube project. And we just had some torrential rain, and I think I said in a previous video that the dirt would settle and I'd have to bring some more in. It settled a lot more than I thought it was going to. So out there it was fine, but up here at this deepest part, that really slumped down there. The big problem is up here. I guess from it slumping down, it pulled it out of the shed. So as you can see, I've got some work to do to get that hook back up. I don't think I'm going to be able to pull it back up. I guess the weight of that dirt made the whole thing sink a little bit, and I'm just hoping that it didn't make it sink too much for water to collect in there. I'm not digging it back up. It's just going to be what it is, because we're not going to be using this solar shed forever anyhow. Once we get a house, I'm going to be moving all that stuff out of there. So I just got to get to work for now. But anyway, I have to redo the connection up there to the shed, amongst some other things here with this. So we got to get that first, and then we're going to have some little tweaks to the system to try to make it a little bit better. Before the ground settled and the pipe pulled away here, I did make some modifications to improve it a bit. One of those was insulation wrap on the pipe, and the other was a screen on the intake to keep things from getting in there. So I'll show you those now. And just so the creepy crawlies don't get in there, I put a window screen and a coupler and pushed it on. All I did here was wrap some reflective bubble wrap around and tape it. That's just to keep things, cool on the way in. I also piled dirt up around it down here so the insulation goes down the ground a bit. And I may even put some more dirt further up just to provide some more insulation effect from that. But unfortunately now I have to take some of that insulation back off so I can figure out how I'm going to get this pipe reattached. Sorry about all the generator noise. Hopefully you can hear me okay. But I'm kind of debating about how to do this, because if you recall, the flange on those pipes fits better into that hole. So I want to end up with a fitting that has that on it, but I already glued all this together, so I can't take that apart, and it's like there's not enough play to get another fitting in there and not enough room for another fitting. So I'm wondering if maybe I need to take a saw and cut off the pipe and just start over again from down where the longer piece is coming up. I really don't want to do that and waste those fittings, but I do have extra ones, and I think I may have to get this to fit better. I could try and cut a small piece of pipe. I have a little bit of extra pipe, and put that just on the end and stick it in there. But then if I do that, there's gonna be a gap around it, and I don't want there to be a gap really. So initially I had to use a couple of fittings and kind of twist them weird to get it in there, and now everything's at the wrong angle. I thought maybe about cutting this fitting right here and seeing if I could get something on there, but even that is like kind of shooting this up the wrong direction. So I'm probably gonna, unfortunately, have to come down here and cut it off here and start fresh on this pipe. Well, it's kind of wonky, but this is what I got. I cut a little length of pipe to put in between these two fittings that had a little less of a turn on them, and I'm not going to put any glue on it right now because I'm a little worried about this happening again, and if I don't glue it, then I'll be able to readjust. And also I have some plans to put in a fan on the inside of the shed to pull air through the pipe, as opposed to the one that I already have installed. The one I have installed, it seems it's sucking air from like cracks around the door and wherever else I don't have insulated well enough. So it's not pulling in a very good amount of air. I think it'll do better if it has a fan actually on the pipe, sucking air through and blowing it into the shed. As far as how this thing is working, it's doing a little something. It's kind of hard to tell right now. I have an infrared thermometer somewhere, but I can't find it. I haven't been able to find it yet. So I can't really test the air temperature coming out of the pipe. And also, I can't test the air temperature coming out of the pipe when the door is closed to the shed. That's an issue that's kind of preventing me from testing this. I will say, though, that we had a really hot day here a few days ago, and whenever I was looking at the temperature in the shed versus the ambient temperature outside, the shed, even though it had the inverter running, which adds heat, and it had the battery charger working, which also adds heat, the shed was, get this, 3 degrees. That's not a whole lot. It was 3 degrees cooler than the outside temperature. So that tells me that there is some sort of a cooling effect, and I think that I can make that better with some more insulation around the pipe, as I've already started to do, and by putting that fan in. But we're gonna get the fan in and do that in a different video, and as well as testing some of the air temperature coming out, if I can find my infrared thermometer, of course. So anyway, that's all I've got for this video today. As always, I hope you have a very blessed day, and I thank you for watching.